Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Walter Levin on the line, and he's founder over at ScarfShield. Walter, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, so excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk a little bit more about ScarfShield and what you're currently doing. But before we do that, let's go a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in e-commerce and in business?
Great. So I was actually looking for a phone case one time, and I couldn't find one that was selling on mainstream websites like Amazon, probably because of the coronavirus epidemic. And I found a website that seemed just owned by probably one or two people, and they had a lot of different random products. And I was going through it, and I bought the phone. And then later on, I realized that it wasn't coming on time. The shipping was taking forever. And I was like, what's the deal with this website? So I did a little bit of digging, and I found out they were doing something called dropshipping, where basically they find products that are hot, that are selling, and they source them, and they put them on their own website, and they sell them to people. So I was very intrigued by this type of model where you don't have to touch any of the actual inventory when you're selling to customers. It seemed like a very cool thing just to kind of research into. So I was looking at it for some time before I decided to give it a shot. I was wondering if these people are able to sell me a phone case that can take 6 months to come. What if I could figure out a way to sell things that people could actually benefit from, like right in this time, and get better shipping rates and things like that. Just to do a better job than they are doing with their current website, because they're making sales, and I was wondering if I could do the same thing, but just in a better way.
So tell us a little bit further about, so you got it, that's your start. I mean, take us further along this journey. So let's get into facial. I mean, let's get into all the other things that you're working on now. Take us further down.
Sure. So I started with this first product, which was a neck massager, which is very popular. Probably about a month ago, it started really just becoming a hot product. And I was searching through different sellers and suppliers, and I found one that had a lot of good reviews. So I launched that company. It was called Necker. It's called Necker, and I put my own logo on it. I branded it, and I launched the website. I started doing marketing, and I had a couple of sales. And I ordered one for myself just to test out to see if it was actually a good product. And I didn't really like it, so I shut the company down because I'm only trying to sell things that people would actually want. I'm trying to just veer away from the more scammy side of the e-commerce business, because there is a lot of that out there. So I went through that business, and I was looking through other types of products, and eventually I realized that what are people really missing nowadays? What are people lacking, and they really need badly are the face masks. Right? They've been out of stock everywhere in stores, and getting them online, they're really expensive, and they're just scarce everywhere. So I was thinking, where could I find an alternative, or how could I produce or sell an alternative? And that was where I was headed to. That was my next direction.
That's awesome. So bring us up to present day. So tell us about ScarfShield and what you're doing there.
Sure. So I was trying to find, like I said before, I was trying to find a mask, a face mask that would be affordable, reusable, and that would arrive quickly after buying them, because of the lack of that exactly right at this time. So I was searching, and I found this. This product. It's a scarf. It's like this mask that's like a scarf, and it's light, and it's breezy, and it's reusable. And I found some suppliers who were able to sell it for a good price, and I talked to them, and we figured all the details out. So I launched the website called ScarfShield, and that's where we are right now. And I'm selling this. I'm selling the scarf to people who can't get the conventional, or people that don't even like the conventional face mask.
Man, what a great story. So, what are your plans for the company going forward? I know you have the new product out, make some sales there. I mean, tell us your plans because I love working with entrepreneurs and getting the story. And I mean, it sounds like you have a lot of ideas. You pivoted once or twice. You're figuring things out. I just love it because this is how big things happen. So, what are your plans going forward with ScarfShield?
I'm gonna keep running it. I'm gonna try to keep scaling it up. See if it's gonna keep producing sales. And and going forward, if there's another product I see that people might come in handy, especially at this time, I may launch it on the same site if it's related, or maybe a different one. So that's the direction we're heading in right now.
What do you think? So I love that you've kind of already started to dabble and you found your niche. So you definitely like the idea of drop shipping, and I mean it's a great model. And if you can make it work, and if you can build the brand and the people and fulfill the deliveries, I mean I think it's awesome. Tell us a little bit more about why you chose drop shipping, because I don't want to assume that all of our listeners right now are very familiar with it, or maybe they've experimented or done drop shipping themselves. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. It just seemed like a totally like doable model for somebody my age, because I don't have, it's not like I'm starting with tons of capital or a big space where I'm able to get items in or test things out by ordering a bulk order and just seeing if they work or not. Because if I do that, then I'm done. If it doesn't work out first try, so it's a very low risk type model. So for somebody like me, that I'm 17 years old, is working out of my bedroom, it's a very doable model to test.
No, I love that. It's great. And hold on, but just throwing this out there, having a bunch of money to throw at the problem gets a lot of people in trouble. So I love what you're doing personally. I think it's awesome. Like, having more money or more space isn't necessarily the best thing to do.
Yeah.
So that being said, Walter, so if somebody is listening to this and they want to learn more about ScarfShield, or they want to connect with the brand or you, I mean, what's the best way for them to do that and to learn more about your products?
Right. So you can find us on Instagram at ScarfShield, or find us on our website where you can purchase a ScarfShield at scarf-shield.com, scarf-shield.com. There's deals going on if you order a couple of them. And 10% of all the proceeds goes towards coronavirus victims, the recovery for coronavirus victims.
That's awesome. Well, Walter, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background in e-commerce and your journey, and also all the great work that you're doing over at ScarfShield. So awesome stuff there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of projects and businesses that you're working on. And Walter, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.